We call this meeting to order. I want to thank everybody for coming out to the Harriman City Council meeting October 14, 2014. Before we get started, we're going to have Councilman Wright lead us in prayer, and afterwards we'll stand and pledge allegiance to the flag.
If you'll join with me, bow your head, I'd like to offer a prayer that a business lady offered some time ago, but I think it's fitting for us here tonight. Heavenly Father, as we gather together tonight, may we seek to serve with all respect for those that we represent. May our personal faith give us strength to act honestly and well in all matters that come before us. And as we meet to serve our community, may we use our resources wisely and well. May we represent all members of our community fairly to make decisions that promote the common good. And may we recognize our responsibility to the past and the future, and the rights and the needs of both the individual and the community. And as trusted servants, may we seek your blessing on our deliberations and on our efforts here tonight. May we act wisely and well. For in Christ's name we ask these things. Amen.
Amen. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here.
Wayne Jess.
Here.
Buddy Holly.
Here.
Kenny Lee.
Here.
Ken Minnet. Lonnie Wright.
Form. Vote to approve the minutes of October 7, 2014. meeting. Have a motion? Second. Second. Anything, Councilman Taylor? Councilman Wright? No. Any amendments, deletions, discussion? Call roll.
Chris Taylor.
Yes.
Wayne Best.
Yes.
Buddy Holly.
Yes.
Kenny Lee.
Yes.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Vote to approve the bills for the month? Motion. Motion, second. Second. Motion, second. Anything, Councilman Lee?
No, sir.
Councilman Holmes? Okay. Call roll.
Chris Taylor.
Yes.
Wayne Best.
Yes.
Buddy Holly.
Yes.
Kenny Lee.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes. This time we're here delegation. If anybody has anything for council, if you would please stand, state your name, and limit your comments to 3 minutes. All right, we'll go into old business. Councilman Wright?
No.
Councilman Miller?
Yes, sir.
Councilman Lee?
No, sir.
Councilman Holly? Any old business? Department reports.
Please start with that report.
What you do?
Thank you. Just to update you quickly on several projects we have going on. The CDBG grant project, it's going well. It's it's on schedule. I'm sure. Last couple of days hadn't fared quite as well with the weather, but they've been doing pretty well. And actually, they've had 2 crews working. They brought one behind the work that's being done, where they've had to saw out the roads, and they've been doing paving on those areas, try to catch that up. So it doesn't just all stack up and have to be done at the end. But that project's going well and should be wrapped up in time to make application for a new grant. The pump station rehab should be completed this month. They're down pretty much to just final inspection punch list, and that'll be completed. All of our water skate installation is done. Working on some final programming changes. We're planning on having a presentation to our board this month, and I'd like to maybe communicate a little later on with the mayor. I've mentioned this in the past, maybe have a demonstration or do something here one evening, or y'all come to the water plant or something, and because it's really a good system. It's already paying off great benefits for us. I'd like for you to see what's involved in that. I know everybody knows what's going on Rivertown Road. Of course, first big phase of this is utility relocation, and it's trying to get underway. Again, it's kind of weather handicapped to some extent. They're actually gonna go down on Bumgardner with the gas and the sewer because there's some work that needs to be done to bring it back up toward Rural from that end. But we're having weekly meetings down at the Harriman TDOT office. TDOT's there, all contractors there. Of course, Roger's Group's heading this up, so I think that's helping kind of move things forward. And one other item, the Renaissance Festival site, we do have electric and water on the site now. We had a couple little issues trying to work out and getting the water line in, but Mr. Davis found a way to come off an existing fire line out there and bring a 2-inch line on out on the property and kind of bypass some of these other things for the present time. I will tell you that if this grows and develops and takes off or something else does in the future, we're probably going to need to go back in at some point and maybe do some upgrades on that. But we've got both services in there for them to use for their festival. Any questions or anything?
Are you all doing the relocation in the South Harriman Correcting Road?
No, sir. That's all contracted. Barger is doing the gas and water. There's a company out of Middle Tennessee that's doing sewer, and Service Electric is doing the electric.
Mr. Yard, you're all in the process of applying for this year's, the CDBG grant for this year?
No, sir, it's really not time. It's probably time to start putting the project together. And usually, I have a discussion with the mayor, and I'm sure he talks with council about what council's wishes are on that. I will tell you that, we certainly would anticipate having a project, but that'll be a decision that y'all need to make. But actually, the application process occurs in February. But I would suggest to you, if you're going to enter a project, you need to be working on it currently, because it all kinds of come together pretty quickly with that. So, but we will be wrapped up. We have to be wrapped up by mid-January in order to make the deadline. So shouldn't have any problem with that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other department reports? Committee reports?
Mayor, we don't have many of the committees that we had prior to changing the government, street committee being one of them, but I need to once again remind you that the street department's having quite a struggle keeping the majority of that equipment running. Drax got some trucks down there so old that we're having to buy different kinds of wheels to make them legal, if you can believe that. But that's true. We bought some today, so we can run them on the road. And the main critical thing, I know Dr. Curley put in the budget for the backhoe, and I know that we are strapped for funds, but I'm telling you, they're working on that thing as we speak, and if we don't start replacing that equipment down there, we're headed for disaster.
We put in this year in the budget for backhoe.
Yeah, we put in a lease purchase. Over the years, we have added some equipment, but I think there probably needs more maybe on the truck line. We added a sweeper truck and paid for that out of funds. And I think there's continuing breakdown on the backhoe equipment. Part of that had to do, by the way, with the amount of trash that was being brought in and handled by the city at a big loss. And so we got the rates in line with what it costs to dump. That's preserving equipment a little better, but still have needs. But we don't have the ability this year to address any more needs than it's in the budget at the present time, unless you go out and borrow money to do it.
Charles, when could we start the process on that backhoe?
We can do it as soon as you want to go ahead and approve getting bids with respect to the lease purchase arrangement, and I'll have to notify Nashville for the process of, we have to do analysis of why we do lease purchase rather than purchase, and what the interest rate savings or losses are. And so we can get it started right away.
Can we put that on the agenda for next month?
To start taking bids
For council make a decision. And that gives us some time for Charles to do the things that he needs to check also.
And I'll kind of echo what Councilman Wright's saying. I agree. If you look around at our departments, I guess all our departments need something, but the street department seems like it direct. We've kind of left in the dark a little bit, and I went down the other day and just kind of looked at the equipment. Most everything down there is in the 80s, and I looked at some of the tires and
We did invest in salt spreading equipment and supplies like that, which has added a lot to their ability to treat roads. Unfortunately, we can't buy salt this year. Our salt vendors will not sell us any salt because they don't have supplies. And so we're going to have to use brine as much as possible, and probably purchase that from the county. So they're kind of strapped. I think probably we have some salt, and I'm getting off track a little bit, but I think we can borrow salt. But anyway, we do have salt spreading equipment, and it should be fairly good shape. The snowplow is fairly in good shape, and you got an adequate truck to do that. So there are breakdowns though that need to be addressed with new equipment. Enough said.
So I think we got 4 containers of brine mixture on hand, so we can handle the snow of this.
anything else, Councilman Brown?
No.
Any other committee reports? If not, comments from Mr. Crestwell, River Alliance.
Thank you, council. Appreciate you giving me a chance to talk and come talk to you. City of Harriman's been a good partner in the Run Alliance and chamber member for quite some time, at least during my experience with the Run Alliance, which is not all that long. But not just through your resources and your investment, but with Councilman Ayler and Councilman Mee's partnership and engagement with as chamber board members. Harriman's been good at the Alliance, so I felt like it was fitting for me to come and give a report on what your return on investment is. So that's kind of what I brought you a packet of materials here, and just want to walk you through this. Included some information specific to Harriman in here. First thing I want you to go over with you is this first page to City of Harriman Economic Activity Report, and I'll go over that. But the very first note there refers to this document, which is the Rome County Industrial Recruitment and Retention Activity Report. And that's really what I want to show. That's the focus of what I'm making sure I'm going to all the city council meetings as a county commission meeting last night. Really to show people what the bulk of the efforts are going towards at the Rome Alliance. And this is just what this is a log really of our projects that we're working that have come to us either directly from the company or from a site selection firm, or they have come from a referral source like Tennessee ECD or TVA. That's listed here as a category called referral. These are listed by the most frequent back. So you'll see, as you look through here, you'll see quite a few projects that we're working right now that vary in size. Typically here in the last 6 months or so, most of the projects that we're seeing are over 100 employees with quite a bit of capital investment. Now, you may wonder why I'm here talking about that when the city of Harriman doesn't have a whole lot to do specifically with our industrial parks. But what we do in our industrial parks affects everybody in Rowan County, and Harriman included, obviously. Is we're out there recruiting companies to come locate in our parks, of which we have 6 throughout Rowan County. What we're trying to do, obviously, is to recruit capital investment dollars from other places to come into Rowan County and new jobs. So we're proud of our efforts that are going on right now, but we thought it was very important for you to see firsthand exactly what we're working on to help bring jobs to the city of Harriman. If you go back to this first page I was talking about, you'll see specific to Harriman, one particular industrial project we're working on right now is with ArcelorMittal, working on a possible expansion. So I don't know all the details there, but I know that they are communicating to us with some expansion of some of their facilities. So that's exciting, and we're excited to be working with them on that. Going down to the next category, just want to highlight some numbers here. Commercial and retail recruitment. Currently, we've got a couple of different retailers looking for space in and around Rowan County, specifically in Harriman. They'll list there in the first 2 points. Working with Senator Yeager and the East Tennessee Regional Director to look at, I've had a couple of business owners or property owners on Highway 70 in Harriman that have contacted me about maybe trying to facilitate with TDOT to increase our access, mainly cut throughs or turning lane or something, so that both sides of Highway 70 can have access, better access there. So I'm working with that to try to help just basically facilitate that. And then some interesting numbers here. As we look at some of the projects that are located in Harriman in the past year or so, what we've seen is the average purchase price, and this is obviously in the off of exit 350 where we're focusing on, the average purchase price is $675,000 and an average capital investment of $1.375 for a total of a little over $2 million. So Harriman's property tax, not including personal property tax, is going to be around just shy of $10,000 on average. For those particular businesses, we're looking at a gross sales of $1.75 million per year. So those are just, when we are out there recruiting retail and commercial to locate in the city of Harriman, these are average numbers that if they come, this is what we're looking at. So that's why it's so important that we're out there actively pursuing these companies to try to locate here, because the impact is significant. And then finally, that last statistic there, I got this right before I left, as a matter of fact, from the county executive's office. The Harriman sales tax collections for just this quarter that just finished up was up 6.89%. So I thought that was pretty exciting too. That's pretty significant. Focusing on any questions on industrial or commercial recruitment before I move on to tourism and workforce. Tourism, regarding how we are working to support Harriman, our biggest focus by far and away is East Tennessee Renaissance Festival. We're extremely excited about that, working with Barry, Pam's working with Barry on a pretty frequent basis. We want to do all that we can to actively promote the Renaissance Festival in any way possible, whether it be through email blasts, through our newsletters, through social media. That's going to be an ongoing effort. We think the potential impact that the East Tennessee Renaissance Festival is going to have in this area is going to be huge. So we want to do everything that we can to support it. Do want to announce Fishing University, which is a long-running television show on the Outdoor Channel, will be in Rowan County next week, filming on Watts Bar. We're going to do a meet and greet at the Alliance Monday night at 7 o'clock. So we'd love the community to come out and meet those hosts. And then also, we just got a commitment last week from a new bass tournament that's going to be here in Rowan County in April 2015. 192 boats, so that many outsiders coming into Rowan County should fill the hotel rooms and all available hotel rooms in Harriman. And then we're also working to confirm the final date of Rowan County Omnium, right, Chris?
Yes.
And
for those who don't know, the Omnium is the bike race that we have.
Right. And we're anticipating that also will be a weekend with all available hotel rooms, and Harriman will be full for that event too. So these are events that the Alliance sponsors. Takes our money that's been invested in us and sponsors back in these events for the sole purpose of filling up our hotel rooms and restaurants and feeding our retailers. With our chamber, there are 89 active members of the Chamber of Commerce right now with Harriman addresses. We had three new ones join just in the last quarter. And again, I want to thank Chris and Kenyon for their participation and support and guidance on the chamber board. And in one particular facet of the Alliance most people don't know about is our education, workforce development, education matters. I don't know if you all know Alan Lutz or not, but he's an incredibly productive part-time employee of the Rome Alliance. And all of these activities are listed here are really just a part of what he does. His job is to promote the value of post-secondary education from birth up. And we're focusing a lot of our attention here lately towards workforce development and preparedness, just because on the industrial recruitment side, that's become critical. If we can't provide a workforce and show these companies that we can provide the workers that they need, they're not coming. So just wanted to highlight some of his activities there and let you all know. I mean, the whole point of this is to let you know what your investment in the Alliance is going towards. There's some other marketing and tourism related materials in these other pockets as well. There's a restaurant map here that has all of our current, actually we're still in the process of updating that, but that's the most current version that we have all the restaurants in Monroe County. We actually have an online app, a mobile app. If you go to the App Store, it has all things Rome County. So just go to the App Store and Visit Rome is the name of that app. And in all of your folders, there's a What's Bar Lake sticker too. Any questions?
Wait, you got a full-time industrial recruiter.
We have, you have me, Darrell Williams, and Teresa Jackson make up the employees of the Industrial Development Board. So, yes.
In other words, you got somebody that hits the road and recruiting.
Yes. The bulk of my job is projects, is working projects. Darrell Williams also works on projects. His focus his focus is both, but retail is a big part of what he does. He also does industrial too, and I work some of our larger industrial projects. Teresa Jackson works support with everything that we do. Anything that goes out of our office on the industrial side goes through her.
I just want to comment real quick is that, as a board member, as a chamber member, as a Roane County resident, I'm just incredibly thankful for the work the Roane Alliance and the chamber does, because you all are the face of our county when it comes to industrial recruitment. You are the organizing body that coordinates that entire process. And we're thankful to have you, and look forward to many of these projects that are in the works coming to fruition. Thank you for being here tonight.
Me too. Thank you very much. I want to keep you all up to date and try to do this at least quarterly, just so you have a good understanding of what's going on with our recruitment efforts, any news coming up, or any other time you all have any questions, I'll be glad to come and answer them.
Very good.
All right. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Update on the Renaissance Festival.
And I segue with Wade because they were the ones that identified the site in Harriman. When we were shopping the idea around, we met with Pam May, and then she met with Daryl, and so then we met with the mayor. So I had some, these are homemade pretzels from one of our vendors that's coming in, and so I have them for the city council, and if you want some, I can just there's invitations to the media party and some complimentary treats. So as many of you know, I'm Barry Paulson, and I'm vice president and part owner of Dark Horse Entertainment, which is putting on the East Tennessee Renaissance Festival. And our first show is in less than 2 weeks. And it's going to be more of a tent festival than more of an authentic festival that we hope to have in the future. But we're starting with very low ticket prices of $8 for people 13 and up, $5 for kids, free parking, rain or shine, no pets. It's going to be a fun, family-friendly show. That's the whole point of it. As far as the economic impact so far, we spent about $175,000. We probably will have spent $200,000 by the end of this first show. And most of that has been spent in Harriman or Roane County. We are employing 7 people part-time, 2 people full-time, plus numerous suppliers, subcontractors, professional services, and during the show day we'll employ lots of people. Like more than 75 actors, about 20 craft vendors and food vendors. So our hope is to have at least 300 people going through Harriman each show day, and that's as a start. These things grow to 200,000 people over the course of 7 weekends. Those are successful shows, and that's what we're targeting in the future. As far as progress on the site, as you know, most of it was just bare land, and a lot of it was used as a trash dump. And so right now we have about 7 acres that's been cleared of the underbrush to create a new park. We're sculpting the land, picking up the trash, burning the buried trees and stumps. We've improved roads to the rated control airport. The city has widened and gravelled the entrance road to make so we can have slow two-way traffic on the entrance. And then thanks to Hub, has brought in electricity and water. As far as the media, we have a website, etrenfest.com. Our Facebook page is East Tennessee Renaissance Festival. We have paid advertisement running now in the Metro Pulse, Knoxville Sentinel, Roane County News, and the Shopper. So here's an example of one ad, and then on the back of those other cards is the Metro Pulse ad. So we've distributed over 1,700 postcards, promotional postcards, and I have some if anybody would like to have some. Press releases have been sent out to media in local media in Knoxville, Crossville, Chattanooga, Tri-Cities, and Asheville. We joined the Chamber to also combine their welcome party with our catered media party that will be this Saturday. It'll be our final dress rehearsal, and so we'll have the entertainers there and with the media. And so what we have in the works is to have the special event. We have liability insurance, but we have to also have special event insurance, and the city will be listed as additionally insured, and then the road signs. So, I'm sorry, I should have given this out when I was speaking. On the back is the press release. Anyway, we're busy.
So I'm new, so I'm going to ask a couple of questions because I wasn't here during the Renaissance on the property part. The city has a copy of the insurance now on file as to what you have.
I will make sure. We have, I think we gave the general liability, but Friday will have the other policy. I'll make sure that you have a copy of that.
Okay. And one more thing, I just reading the agreement, and I just asked you all to clarify me. And the reason I have to ask, because we can't talk outside this meeting for violation of sunshine law, so this is the only time I get to ask. Reading the agreement, with it being city property, and once we lease it to you and you be for profit, there becomes taxes on the property. Have we turned that over to be a tax piece of property, or is that something, who does that?
We don't know. I mean,
we actually own the property. We haven't,
we own it, but if we lease it to a profit organization, that land becomes taxable. You have to pay taxes on that property. It's not exempt anymore. It becomes a taxable piece of property. And I just want to make sure that we stay within, and I read that in the lease that you all pay all taxes and stuff, not taxes. So I looked just to make sure, and by law, it becomes taxed. The 89 acres becomes taxable property tax, city and county. And I just wanted to, is it our job or is it your job to turn that in for it to become taxable, or does it stay?
From what I remember in the agreement, it was discussed, and yeah, it would be property that goes on the tax roll again type thing. I don't remember it ever being discussed. Charles might know a little bit more on when it would happen or how.
Normally, the tax assessor's office does that work. When a new business, for example, comes and locates, they generally have a grace period for tax on personal property and things like that. They don't normally appraise personal property until the second year. But they do add the real property on a prorated basis for tax purposes. So, to the extent, at the date it was taken over by the occupant, would be the date from which taxes would be paid for the current year. And the tax assessor's office usually makes those determinations.
So we would expect to pay taxes on it. I know that the rate that it was on the tax rolls was based on when some property had changed hands with TDA. And so since we have the purchase option, then we could always appeal if we needed to, as far as the value of
I think I said like 815,000 was the appraised value or something.
On the tax rolls now, and that was based on the last time that it changed hands, but the agreement that we made with the Industrial Development Board as far as the purchase option, then we could appeal to have it adjusted if we needed to. So we're expecting to pay taxes.
Okay, and that, will you all have that agreement that's in the purchase? I haven't seen it.
The purchase option is with the Industrial Development Board, the lease is with the city of Harriman.
Okay.
Good question.
Anybody have anything else?
Nope, so if you're welcome, there's invitations if you want to come to the catered media party, and then there's comp tickets if you want to come to the show.
Okay, thank you.
We'll have lots of entertainment.
Number 10 is on the agenda. Myself, I'm not ready to entertain it. We just today started looking at some compensation and stuff like that. I'd like to put it off and have a special call meeting next Tuesday and at 7 o'clock to discuss what we're offering a full-time city manager. And I just want to make sure that when we do this, we're doing it and we're all on the same page. We understand. We may understand and disagree, but we understand. And I don't know that some of you even seen some agreement until tonight. You know, we have a workshop next Tuesday at 6. I feel like we need to do the workshop, discuss anything that we need to do, and then have a meeting at 7 to vote to approve a city manager.
I'm good.
So, do I need a motion to have a special call meeting? All right. Discuss and possibly approve appointing Mr. Edward Alexandro to the Harriman Historical Zoning Commission. Have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Councilman
I think he's doing it for personal reasons, for replacing his wife. So it's good.
Councilman
Yeah. She done a good job. I think he'll continue.
Any other discussion? And I think he's just taking her turn, isn't he? Okay. Call her.
Chris Taylor,
Yes.
Wayne Best,
Yes.
Buddy Holly,
Yes.
Kenyon Me,
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yeah.
Discuss and possibly take action on resolution R1014-01. Resolution requesting TVA Economic Development Foundation approval as a part of its image repair funding. Everybody's got a copy of the resolution. Motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. Anything, Councilman Holly?
No, it's good.
Councilman Wright?
No, council certainly inputted all this and Mayor put it together. And it includes a start on a lot of projects that I think will enhance the city in the long run.
Any other discussion?
For those who don't know, this is the money that the last little bit of the money that we got from TVA for the ash spill, and I think that this money is probably going to be able to show more of there's going to be more of a visual impact from this money being spent, I think, maybe than anything else. So I'm excited to see the improvements that come from these expenditures.
I think it incorporates something all of us wanted in here. So, yeah.
Has Cindy got a copy of this, so she can...
And I was going to say, there's copies of what was talked about and discussed out on the table out there. If anybody wants to pick up a copy and see what we're utilizing the other $375,000 on, what we're asking to utilize it on. There's about 10 things on here. So we're spreading the money out and trying to do a lot of small projects that we haven't done in a while. Any discussion? Call roll.
Chris Taylor?
Yes.
Wayne Best?
Yes.
Buddy Holly?
Yes.
Kenyon Me?
Yes.
Lonnie Wright?
Yes. That's all on the agenda. I didn't give you, while ago, Charles and Real Business, a chance to say anything.
A couple of things. We were talking about street department equipment. I don't know that if everyone knows, that next year we'll be retiring $200,000 of debt. I mean, we're retiring this year, and that $200,000 will go back into the general fund, which can be used according to how you want to use it. The following year, we'll retire another $100,000. So all told, in the next 2 years, we will retire over $300,000 in debt. Money coming back into the general fund, which will give you a little more working room to upgrade equipment and pay for whatever you want to do. So, the other thing is, Friday, we had a conference call with Moody's on our bond rating, and Steve Cochran and I were on the phone with Moody's answering a series of questions. I believe there were about 25 with in-depth answers. And then Monday I followed up with some analysis that they requested, and today they notified us that we're keeping our A1 bond rating. So it's good news. That's all.
Charles, on this, the packet you gave some delinquent taxes we
Yeah,
talked
we
about
did
last week.
pass out the delinquent tax list. That is of the last week, and that changes weekly. But it has 10 years of back taxes listed there.
This is the one that we were talking about turning over though, right?
Yeah, well, those are delinquents, yeah. It gives you a list by name of those who are delinquent in taxes, and you have one for each year for a 10-year period. So the summary sheet on the front tells you what the total amount over the 10-year period is. Is that what you want?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, what the total was and where it was.
Dr. Curley, just out of curiosity, you had mentioned about the outstanding debt. What is our total outstanding debt and bond issues?
Well, I'd have to go pull the table for you.
I thought you might know off the top of your head.
We have utility debt and we have city debt, and depending on what you want, it's a different number. But if you want to come by the office, I'll be glad to show you that.
Back on the taxes, this has got 2013 through 2003. Last week, we approved to go back 10 years, but as to how close? Are we doing 2012 back, 2011 back?
We mean in terms of what we turned over for court collection, everything except 13. 212 back to, the reason the numbers are small in the out years is because we've been collected through the court. The more recent numbers are larger, people haven't paid, but we have turned everything up through 2012. And under the charter, I can turn over 2013 in June of this current year, but I didn't, because we normally hold them for at least a year before we turn them over. But we have the option of turning them over any time.
Do we need to revisit that then? Because we did it for in excess of 3 years in our,
That's what I was wondering, what we,
as far as our minutes and stuff, and all we did was 3 years, so.
I don't remember you voting on it. You didn't vote on it, did you? Did you vote on it?
We linked it to 3 years.
I believe you brought up the topic
I
that,
didn't remember voting on it for you.
I believe you brought up the subject that the county goes back, if it's delinquent for 3 years, they said.
We did, and the motion was to authorize McPherson to auction off properties that owe delinquent taxes in excess of 3 years. The motion was passed by unanimous roll call, yes.
Well, that meant that anything 3 years back, we're authorizing the process.
Means 2010 back then, now.
Yes. Correct.
Is that right, Charles?
Well, if you're saying, you're gonna collect only on those that are delinquent for over 3 years, that would be, 2010 back.
I guess I thought that was sort of the way it was done, county and.
Not according to that chart. But I advise you to let McPherson advise you on that. So he would be a better person to advise you on whether there's a law stating that it has to be 3 years.
How about we get McPherson to give us a legal opinion and add that on to the agenda for next Tuesday's special call meeting? We'll take care of that. Anything else will come before council? I want to say, if you hadn't been down to Riverfront Park, the gazebo's been painted, sandblasted, painted, looks really good, looks the best I've seen it since it was put in. There's some stuff going on, stuff looking good. Go around, visit your town and see what we got. Motion to adjourn? Motion second, all in favor, aye.